Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Books, Girls, and Purrs. My name's Leslie, and guess what? Right when I'm about to start to record, my other cat is trying to get out. Out. Out, Ginger. Go. Go. All right, I'm sorry. I knew that was going to happen. I still let her in. All right, so here I am. I'm still distraught from watching episode 7 of season 2 of Interview the Vampire, and I was just gonna get ready to go to bed. Tariel's over here. And wouldn't you know it, the Vampire Chronicles Instagram shared a trailer for episode 8 for season 2. But when I went to go look for it on my own, I couldn't find it. And so I went to their link and it looks like it's unlisted. But people in the comments section are saying that it's on I guess Tumblr and uh FKA Twitter or whatever. And so I think it's okay to review it. I'm not a fan of, like, what do you call it? Uh Leaked stuff, but I don't think that's what's going on. So anyways, here I am in the middle of the night, and I thought this would be a good time just to watch it like I usually do with trailers. I'll watch it all the way through once and then I'll put it on again to dissect it. And then we'll just go from there. So here we go. Let me share it. I could hear my cat outside. I am not letting her in. I love her, but she's a pain in the butt. Um, hmm. Okay, that's a tiny bit better. You won't be able to see Tariel, but all right. Here we are. Let's watch this.
Darkness was delirium. I tried to paint alternatives. Lucid, what ifs. Wear a different suit the night you meet Lestat at the fair play. Snatch the piece of candy back from the barber when you're 7 years old. Would I have been stronger sooner? Would I have resisted Lestat 2 decades later? Snatch the candy. Be the man in the different suit. But the suit changes nothing. And again, I'm kissing Lestat on the altar. I'm killing Lestat, but won't burn him. I'm dragged off stage and buried alive. Penny candy's not the answer. Claudia is dead.
All right, here we are. So yeah. Let me share this. I could hear my cat meowing outside. I'm not letting her in. All she's gonna do is come inside, sniff around, and then want to go out again. She always does this. All right. Oh Lord. All right, so I'm gonna watch again. Do I really want to watch this again? So let's see if I can change this up. All right, let's do this.
Darkness was delirium. I tried to paint alternatives. Lucid what ifs. Wear a different suit the night you meet Lestat at the fair play. Snatch the piece of candy back from the barber when you're 7 years old. Would I have been stronger sooner? Would I have resisted Lestat 2 decades later? Snatch the candy. Be the man in the different suit. But the suit changes nothing. And again, I'm kissing Lestat on the altar. I'm killing Lestat, but won't burn him. I'm dragged off stage and buried alive. Penny candy's not the answer. Claudia is dead.
Oh my goodness. All right. What does everyone think? Can you hear my cat? She's so loud. Um, I'm still distraught from episode 7. I haven't even done my top 5 segment that's due Saturday or to be released Saturday. I watched like the episode twice and then I couldn't watch it anymore. I have been watching other people like react or like discuss the episode, but it's just so shocking. um I like that dialogue with Louis because ultimately he's had to play a lot of different roles in his life. He was Louis the pimp, he was the brother, he was the one that was taking care of finances, um, and then growing up in, or being in such a racially divided society, always having to like bend over um, for other people, and just having to play all these different roles. And so I like the conversation that Louis has about the suit. Like, it doesn't matter what suit I chose. Um, that's inconsequential, right? And that's also very much how he handles like his relationship. It's okay, let me play this part. Or then he's with Armand. So then he's things like he just tackles like the relationships just like he does like running a business in a way. And that's kind of what I got from it. But yeah, he clearly gets his revenge, and I don't know. I'm still reeling from being gaslit by basically all of them. Armand, Lestat, and a little bit of Louis, right? In the telling of his tale. Um, so here's my question. What do you think is gonna happen in episode 8? I know we're gonna see Louis' revenge. I get that, but also what's gonna happen in Dubai? Because in episode 5, I do agree with Armand that ultimately telling the tale, it's a couple of things. It's ultimately because I think Louis wants to reconnect with Lestat and he wants to end the relationship he has with Armand. But I also think that maybe Armand by episode 8 we're going to get the reason why Armand is letting this happen. And ultimately I think it is Daniel. Um but I don't know. What do you think? How is it going to happen? Is the end of the tale, is Daniel going to be like frustrated with the end of the tale, just like he was in San Francisco, and ask for the gift? Or do you think that he is going to push Louis' buttons once more, even though they have this like temporary kinship, do you think that Daniel's gonna push his button like one far too many, and that Louis is gonna potentially attack him just at a being upset, and that Armand will will surprise us, the audience, by making Daniel a vampire? Hi, Lenora Wilson. Thank you for being here. I seriously just went live and I'm like, I just have to have this discussion really quick. Louis and Lestat are so toxic for each other. They're so toxic. And you know what I really like? I don't know if you read the books, but I love the television show more. I like how they make Louis more culpable. Um, because I also think it gives him more agency over what's happened in his life. I do believe Armand will change each other. So do you think that Armand is gonna change Daniel? Okay, because here's my other question. Okay, because in San Francisco, Armand did the whole vampire party line thing. Do you think that they're gonna break up and then Louis is gonna ask him, "It's time to ring up my ex-boo"? Do you think that's gonna happen? Do you think it's gonna go over like that? Because Armand clearly did it before, but didn't have the strength, um, or it was too painful to tell Louis what Lestat was saying. Which at the time when I watched, I felt bad for Armand. Now I don't feel bad for Armand. Screw Armand. Armand's like all the way orchestrating like this whole thing that happened in Paris. How do you think it's gonna happen? Also, oh, hold on. Okay. I would like to know your thoughts. How do you think it's gonna happen? And also, do you think that Rashid is gonna be an unfortunate what do you call it, bystander? Do you think that Daniel, if they change him there, Rashid will, he's walking in and telling him what's for lunch and second breakfast and everything. Sorry, there's a motorcycle outside. And that's gonna be like Daniel's first meal because he won't be able to help himself. But also Daniel was like the first time he unalived someone in the books, he was like terrified. He's like, get that person away from me. I wonder if it's gonna be the same way. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Also, I was gonna pepper you with questions. What do you think's going on with Rashid? Do you think he's just a regular old human? Because I don't think he is. I also think that either he's like a wizard or a werewolf. The only reason why I bring up werewolves, although I haven't read any of those books by Anne Rice, is that the Telemasca spinoff apparently is gonna go down that route of that genre. So I was thinking that might be a thing. Hello, Jim Bean. What a name. I like it. Lenora Wilson. The stat is very upset and very salty. Yeah, Lestat rejection of him. Yeah, and I believe that his motive for keeping Louis away from Lestat. I haven't read the books. Okay, cool. I agree. um, yeah, it's so messy. It's like so confusing because another reason why I think Armand would change Daniel is because of Louis and Daniel's connection, right? Oh, you're just watching the show? Oh, what episode? It this season 7, the episode was so rough. Yeah. I was a shock. I was shell shocked. I didn't cry, but I'm an introvert, but I couldn't get any words together. It was so that Episode 7 was just as traumatizing as episode 5 in season 1. It was too much. Okay. Well, be careful because we're gonna talk spoilers. Or also we're like talking about theories right now. I definitely think something is going on with Rashid because otherwise, how could Armand not read his mind and know he's working with Raglan James? Yeah, that was the thing that confused me because there he did have his gloves off, I think twice, even in the restaurant. But I'm not over here staring at the man's nails, so I can't tell if they're like vampire nails or not. Um, but something that vampires in Anne Rice's universe do is they really do like hyperfixate. So like, well, I don't want to give you that example, but like, let's say like Louis, how he just gets like so engrossed in books that it's just like everything else could be the world could be passing by and he'll be into that. So they tend to hyperfixate, and so it could have been like an offhand comment, like of no consequence. But when Rashid went over to the restroom, what's his name? Raglan James said, "Oh, it's okay. He likes the soap here," which yeah, it's fine. It's like whatever he likes the soap, or it could be like a fixation thing that vampires do. But I don't think he is a vampire either. But something's going on with him. What do you think about how episode 5 and season 1 oh, yeah, and season 1 was told compared to the version we got from Mustad? I I'm yo-yo-yoing. Okay, first of all, I watched the first time I watched, episode 7, I was just so engrossed. I was totally gaslit by Armand and Lestat, and I was just, like, so upset. But, now that I and then okay, this is the issue. Louis agrees to the version oh, no, wait a minute. No, 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 no. I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'll just finish my thought and then I'll go. There's 2 things. 1, Louis agrees to the events of Claudia being made, right? But you're talking about the big fight. So, I was really shocked that he agreed to Lestat's version. I was so upset because in the theater, he also denies it and and tells Claudia, "No, that's not true," but I don't think Claudia believed him. So that there's that. 2, I think that we're just gonna have to take it as it's somewhere in the middle as far as the fight goes. Like, they got into it. I I get that, like, Louis was more antagonistic, but also Lestat put his hands on Claudia, and as a parent, if someone puts their hands on your kids, like, all bets are off, right? So, I don't know, and they also just had so much pent up, animosity and just their toxic behavior. I don't know what to think. But no matter what, even if that is let's say that that is a truth that about everything that Louis said to Lestat, no matter what, I also still agree with Lestat in episode 7 that we just saw, which is it was never okay for him to do what he did to Louis, right? That he broke him. Um, so yeah. But I don't know. I just don't know if I can believe it completely. And also when that scene happens, Louis does not we don't get a moment in Dubai, right, where he says, "Yeah, put this" he doesn't confirm that that's true, right? I don't know. Overall, the vampires, they can read each other's minds. The only one that cannot read your mind if you're a vampire is the one that made you. And even though everyone could read each other's mind is like overall, you do as a vampire in this world have the ability to like learn how to like close off your mind, like shield yourself from people getting in there. But you have to like be actively trying to do that, you know. Lenora Wilson. Think about it. Louis put his hands on Claudia in the exact same way that's true when she wanted to burn Lestat. That's so true. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody was treating her like a rag doll. They treated her terribly, so it's just like it's frustrating because it's like and I'm also frustrated with, the idea that they cared less about each other than they actually did, but on Louis' side, I always felt like Claudia didn't, she didn't love them as much as they loved her, but I even think that's okay because they didn't get her consent to do what they did to her. I felt like when she came back from, trying to go out on her own and be, like, on the college circuit after what happened to her, I think she came back and it wasn't like, only because she loves Louis. I think she just tried to choose a lesser of evil and was like, "Hey, let's go." Like, if she thought Lestat was the lesser of evils, she would've, like, talked Lestat into leaving. But I think she thought she could, for lack of better words, like, manipulate Louis into leaving, um, and I think that's what happened. But also, I don't know. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot boiling in my mind. Um, but yeah, Lestat and Louis had a toxic relationship anyways. Laros, and after I thought about it for a while, I really think Louis was desperate to save Claudia because of what happened to Paul. Yes. That and also, I think that was what was so horrifying about, in the play that Claudia had to perform, My Baby Doesn't Like Windows or Does Like Windows or whatever, she actually has to go out a window in one of the scenarios in the play to go out the window to her death, and I'm like, the people in the theater are so terrible because they must have been, like, getting into their minds to some extent and just making not only Claudia perform this play, but having Louis watch that over and over again, that had to be, um, like, trigger a memory of his brother. It's just but yeah, that's the thing about Louis, it's more like once he doesn't have the thing, then suddenly he loves that thing, right? Like, he's not with Lestat, so now all he does is consume himself with Lestat. Claudia's gone, so now all he does is consume himself with Claudia. So, it's it's a frustrating dynamic. I don't know. What if Lestat tried to push Claudia out of the light? Would the coven unalive him? No. Okay, here's the thing. I because during the trial, like Louis, who's one of the few alive from that time, was just beaten up and everything. And then we have Armand, who clearly has powers to manipulate, hallucinate, and that kind of thing. Um, it's confusing because we see Lestat like apologize, but then at the beginning he says it's their turn to hurt, which I think might be scripted. And then like his voice is off at sometimes, and he's I just realized he doesn't have to sit, but he's sitting. Like I know the judges are sitting behind, but then like later on, because I've already watched it twice, you see that he's kind of like swaying a little bit right before Claudia gets unalived. So I think that I don't know if they would have punished him. I don't know what kind of deal they made, but I do think something's up, and I think he would have saved her if he could, but something else is going on, and at this point, we see that Armand it has, like, the best seat in the house, right, according to Daniel. Um, I wonder how much I wonder if he's there actually because he's controlling Lestat. And I also wonder if Sam, the playwright that's next to him, is actually there, or did Armand plant Sam there in Louis's memory? I don't know if that makes any sense. But this show is wild, so that could be like a thing. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know your unhinged theories if you have any like mine, because now I'm questioning everything. But when the first time I saw it, I was so upset. I was upset at everyone. I was definitely upset at Louis, even though he's like all messed up. Lenore Wilson. I was yelling at the screen and saying, "Call him Uncle Les. It may sway Lestat to try to save you." You know what I thought? You know what I genuinely thought was going to happen, but only because my cat's driving me nuts. I could hear her outside my door. Out of a last attempt, like a desperate attempt to connect, I thought Claudia, when she turned to Lestat, I know she always called him Uncle Les, but in that moment, I mean, I'm an introvert, so it takes like a lot for me to cry. If she had called him like dad, like something she never called him before, like daddy or something, I think that would have tipped me over. I think I would have been like all the way crying. Just something that in life he didn't hear from her, because although they loved each other, they had like a complex, contentious relationship. But I think that would have sent me over the edge. But yeah, I agree. Like, what else could she do? Oh, and also, this is me going off on tangent. I also thought about like it's such a terrible moment, and we're hearing the narration from Armand, right? Because Louis is gone, so now we have the account of what's going on is from Armand's perspective, right? Which we already know is not reliable. But the fact that he says the last person Claudia looked at was Lestat, I feel like that was also orchestrated. That because Armand wants to cause Lestat so much pain, I feel like that's something that he would do. Because we already know he did something to Nikki from the television show. We know something happened. So, which makes me dislike Armand even more. There's no vindicating him. I don't care what he's been through in the past. He's a grown man. He's at this point in Paris like 400 something years old. So no, I don't he doesn't get a pass. I'm sorry, I'm getting all worked up again. Jim Bean, Armand could have stopped it if he wanted to, I think. I think so too. He's just too powerful. You're telling me they went to like a cafe or a restaurant or whatever, and he made everyone else freeze, and he made all his coven people put their head down, but he couldn't save them? I don't think so. It's such a lie. Yes, I was saying call him Papa Les too. Yeah, yeah. That's how I felt. I was like, anything. Yeah, that scene had my eyes watering. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just yeah. I'm still reeling. I'm still talking about it. I can't. It's a lot. Yeah. Here's what I want to know. What kind of crazy conversation did Armand have with Louis to get him to continue a relationship with him? That's what I want to know. Here, let me let my cat out. Come on. Oh, come on. What? I'm sorry. One comes in, the other one leaves. No, the only okay, my channels, I only discuss books. The only reason why I review or do anything to do with Interview the Vampire is just because I'm just an obsessed fan. That's all it is. It's just like my entire personality while the season is on. I'm thinking, I'm dreaming about it, I'm breathing it, you know. But no, and then I also don't think I would do a good job because I haven't actually, that's a lie. I have read the Song of Ice and Fire series, but I don't think I would do a good job analyzing it whatsoever. And now that House of Dragons is on, that the book that's based on, I have not watched. But you know who does a great job is um New Rockstar, and they have a separate channel, but it's associated with New Rockstar, and it's called like The Break Room. Those are two like just like ultra nerdy channels, and they do like great breakdowns. I love analysis, so I like to watch it. So you might want to check theirs out. But I genuinely think I would do a terrible job. Yeah, they got renewed for season 3. I went and lost my mind. I'm so happy because I know the creator has like an overall deal right now, but there's no guarantee what's gonna continue or not. And I haven't looked it up because I don't want to get discouraged. But I heard like the ratings aren't that great for Interview the Vampire, and I don't understand why. I can pinpoint it. I don't know. Is it the vampire thing? Because AMC has like zombies, and this one's vampires, and then I don't know. I don't know. Lenora Wilson says, I believe that Armand has erased and rewritten what Louis believes happened, that Louis doesn't know what is and what isn't real anymore. Yeah. And the other thing is, gosh, I keep bleeding in. Um, there's a line. Okay. Let me back up. Like maybe around like the second episode, right? Am I right? Of this season is when Armand gets introduced to going on record, right? And they do this obnoxiously cutesy thing between Louis and Armand, and that is like finish each other's sentences. And Daniel points it out, but now it's like I reflect on it, and it's so much more nefarious because we already know that Armand has already like hypnotized Louis at times, right? Just how he thinks what happened and in San Francisco how it went versus how it really did go, you know? Um, and so in this episode, episode 7, Louis is saying something. He's talking about Lestat, and he's like, "This is just who Lestat is." One moment he's telling you something real and apologizing, and the next it's like something different. And at that moment, Armand finishes a sentence, and he's like, "Yeah, he just makes you feel like you don't know what's real or not anymore." And I found that to be actually that makes me feel like that's that how Louis feels in that moment is actually manipulation, and also that's just a reflection of what Armand that's like him totally projecting. That's actually more of a read on Armand than it is Lestat. I don't know. It's just so much information to remember. Oh, stop. What? Okay. Sorry, my cat again. Vera Morris. Oh, nice to see you. Green Crush is good too. Okay, cool. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I just turned off my keyboard because my cat and now I want to use it. Screen Crush? I'm gonna look it up right now. Oh yeah, I see it. I'm gonna subscribe. I'm totally gonna subscribe. Now we have to wait 2 years for season 3, not fair. Do we? I don't know how long it's gonna take. Craziness. Yeah, I don't know how long season 3 is gonna take, if it's gonna come out next year or the year after. But if you know for sure, let me know. Because since I'm such an Unhinged fan, I was gonna make like a reading project starting at the beginning of next year. Um related to it was gonna be me reading the Vampire Chronicles again, but it's gonna be like in relation to the material. But I kind of want to have an idea of when the third season is gonna start, but who knows? Yeah. experiment. As long as we get a renewal, it's still better than the Mayfair Witches. Could you tell me, do you okay, it's like I don't wanna be too much on the hate wagon, but I really did not like Mayfair Witches, and I felt like what's even worse is that Interview with a Vampire, that 1st season was so good, and to have the Mayfair Witches come on right after probably sounded like a great marketing strategy, but I feel like they didn't have a chance because how could you have a show that's like some wildly entertaining um vampire soap opera and then put that on right after? It fell so flat. It was so frustrating. And you know what's worse is I watched the whole season because every time there was an episode, I kept thinking like, "Oh, maybe the next episode will be better," because my mind was still like on Interview the Vampire and how good it was, and I think it just made the experience worse. I want my time back. Yeah, episode 2. Oh, I see Mayfair Witches, all of them were just using her. Mm. Sneaky Armand in those Malik yeah, yeah. That was like high fashion villain. It was so good. I want them to release the whole scene because the actor Assad said that that scene where he's walking was like a longer shot. And I'm like, "Oh, please put that in the extra somewhere." Us fans would love to see that. Lenora Wilson. I've even questioned things that have been written in Claudia's diaries. I don't trust that things haven't been rewritten and not just ripped out. That's true. That's you know what? That's the real gosh, I don't have the words. Uh, you know what? That's the unfortunate injustice of the show is that Claudia doesn't really ever have a voice, right? Everything we see is being told from somebody else, and on top of the fact that we can't trust the diaries, right? So it's just it's unfortunate. But with that said, that's why I also can't wait for season 3 because I want her, like I said in my life, I want her to just haunt the snot out of Lestat. And you know what? Louis too. Louis too. They could have Armand, all of them, suddenly show up in 2022 in Dubai and start haunting everyone. Haunt them in the nightmares when they're awake. And that will be her like having a voice, right? Graham Morris. If we have to wait, but we get some Akasha, I won't mind. All right. Why not? Let's go there. Everyone, who do you want to fan cast as Akasha? Because my mind is someone said in like some other streams, Jodie Turner Smith, which I think would be a great choice. But I'm up for like all of it. Yeah, it was so boring. Yeah, Vera Moore says Mayfair was just boring, and I was expecting more than the Jack Houston's character. Yeah, I don't know what that one is. Yeah. Off topic, anyone ever seen a German show called Dark on Netflix? It was so good. Ooh, you know what? I kind of think I've heard of it. Hold on. Is that like a make it stop. Sorry. Dark one. Ooh. Okay, so Dark is a series. Oh, this looks good. I'm gonna have to check it out. Oh no, is this gonna scare me? Watch it. There goes my cat again. Paul. I don't have one. The demon. Yes. No. Oh. Right, sorry, my cats know how to open the door. That's how wild it is, and they just go back and forth getting in. Lenora. Lenora Wilson says, I was upset with Louis when I saw him dragging her across the carpet. She's already burned up. Lestat really did try to reason with Louis. That's what's so like frustrating is to see how she was treated like a rag doll. And I also wonder because we're seeing that point of view, it's just so like I don't want to believe that that's true, but it is what Louis agrees, right? He says that Lestat's account is correct, and I'm like, it's just that was so upsetting to see him drag her like that. Like it's almost like he really didn't care about her. It was just about it really just was about like him and what that meant to him. Like he just so desperately needed that. It's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. All right, dark. It's not scary, but it makes you think. Okay, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna check it out. Jodie is stunning, but I would think they would do a Middle Eastern actress or maybe a Southeast Asian actress. Yeah. All right, here's my here's my other fan cast that makes no sense, but I couldn't help it. I don't it would never happen in a million years. But I'm just going full fantasy, whatever I want. I kind of want Sade, the singer, to play the role because, like Aaliyah was a singer and then she played the part. And so I guess the fantasy in my mind is, and by the way, like Sade's music is so like you can't put her in a box. She's so there's no defining her in any genre of music. Not that has anything to do with the role of Akasha, but I just love her and grew up listening to her, and so I might as well fan cast whoever I want. But I don't know, it probably doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, Simone Ashley. That would be a great choice. I love her. Come on, girl. What do you want? Come on, come on. Here you go. I love Simone Ashley. Come on, Sharitha Chandra. Oh yeah, and the actress that plays her sister, right? I'm looking it up right now. They would also be good choices. Isn't she? It doesn't matter how much time passes by. And, I'll go through these, like, what do you wanna call it? Like, like phases where I'll listen to, like, one particular artist a lot, and she's an artist I go back to time and time again. She's timeless. She's timeless. I could listen to her music all day. Hold on. Once again. Girl, yeah. Go out. Go out. Don't come back in. Yeah, King of Sorrow is a fave. Yes. After this, I'm just gonna put her on. I'm gonna put Sade on. Okay, I should watch all of season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. They should do a marathon. Yeah, it's so good. It's just so good and devastating and stressful. And, even though I read the books, I'm one of those fans that thinks that this is like way better. I mean, I love the books, but it's just so much more of like an enriching tale. Um, just as toxic as we need it to be, I guess. But yeah, I love it. Lenora Wilson, as much as I hate to say this about Louis, but Lestat should have left Louis. Yes, I agree. Because Louis promised Lestat he would be happy and that he would stay. So Louis knew he was making Lestat miserable. Yeah, even when we saw season one, not that I'm at any point trying to like um absolve Lestat of like his behavior and what he did. But yeah, I think this second season is also about making Louis like culpable for his actions. And even if we didn't see the second season, we could already see from season 1 how when Claudia leaves that first time, he even says in the narration, so we know he's talking to Daniel, and he says, like, I'm gonna say it like bad paraphrase, but basically he knew he was making Lestat miserable. He was doing it on purpose. And then, Lestat was just looking out the window at his, side piece, and it's like, I love this person, but he's just trying to hurt me the whole time for years. And so that's something that I did agree with when Lestat was up there kind of like summarizing things. Um, Even though, he's gonna make his side of things look, um, his point of view, like, better, right? Or make him the victim or whatever. But there were no lies told in that narrative, about what Louis do to him. And even when he's in the chair and he says and he's crying and apologizing, he does say, "I couldn't make him love me," which really sucks. And it sucks because the sad thing, because 'cause they're so toxic, is actually, no, Louis did love him. He just treated him badly. And ultimately, that's, like, the best takeaway you could take from the show is, like, just because someone loves you doesn't mean they get to treat you, like, a certain way. That's like when you skedaddle, you know? You're like, that particular emotion is, like, not enough, you know? It's wild. I think I went off on a tangent and forgot where I was. Lenora Valera, but she's 51. I'm totally gonna look it up. Lenora. Oh, yeah, she's a Chilean actress, huh? Hey. Oh my god, yeah, she was, wasn't she in the Mummy movie? Is that her? Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? Who was she in? Why does she look so familiar? Alright, now I'm clicking on her IMDb because I can't help myself. Oh, she was in Blade 2? Yeah, she could totally do the part. Lenora Wilson. Louis said, "I took an unsavory delight in provoking Was that Yes! This is why. This is like but we hear that, and even in season 1, and I was like, "Ooh, Louis, come on. Put your books back on the shelf. Kick out the raccoons and whatever rodents are here." You know? So, we can't, like, unsee that or, like that's clearly what, Louis said, what and he's saying that's what happened, that's what he would do. Right? That's also a good choice for an actress, definitely. She was in Blade 2, yeah. I haven't seen that in forever, so I gotta go back and take a peek. Lenora, Lestat made me want to cry when he was saying, "Sorry, you're going to leave me now." He's being up and he still wants Louis to stay. Yes, because ultimately it's like his abandonment issues, right? Yeah, you know what? That's what it is. It's his abandonment issues. He's just like, this person's treating me so badly, but that's also why he won't like leave him. He's just like, we just gotta stay together. We're just gonna be miserable together, but like, don't ever leave me because it's just such a huge like fear, I guess, right? It's terrible. You want to fan cast the twins? Lottery Verbeek from Outlander. Verbeek. I'm looking it up. Lottery. Oh, Lauder. Am I saying that right? Oh, Geely. Oh yeah. Okay. I totally had to look her up to remember who she is. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Sorry, I'm not even clicking on what you're saying. Geely, yeah, as too old. I don't know. I don't know what ages they're gonna want to go with because the actor Assad as well as the character Armand was aged up, right? He's like 17 in the books. So who knows? Oh, okay. I have another question because I don't have the answer. Who do you want to play Gabrielle for Interview with the Vampire? There's an actress that actually I keep picturing her. Actually, I should say them because they're non-binary, but they're too young for the part. They're probably around the same age as what Sam Reed? What's their name? Oh, shoot. Hold on, sorry. Oh no, I forgot my. I will be back in 1 second. My laptop's gonna run out of battery. Hold on. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stay up so late, but then we started chatting and I forgot that my laptop wasn't plugged in. Yeah, Lestat's mom. It's going a little bit slow. Because she ends up being in a oh, I don't let's not give it away for Jim Beam, but they're a character in the show. Oh, my internet's going a little bit slow. I bet it's my fault because of the. Okay, so Emma D'Arcy plays Rhaenyra in House of the Dragons, and if I remember correctly, like Gabrielle is a character that's a bit of like a I know what you want to say, like a gender bender, I suppose you could say. Like they're just kind of like don't really fit within their own gender. And so I keep thinking about that particular actress, but she's too young for the role. So, but then I've heard other people say like Gillian Anderson, but I don't know. Okay. You don't mind spoilers. Okay. I'll still try to be cryptic. Yeah, I just hope whoever they fill in for the roles moving forward are still people that they've plucked out from like theatrical experience because that seems to be working well for them. I mean, the actor Assad has a theatrical background, a theater background, and he's incredible. And um, the actors, him and Luke, I forget the guy's last name. The the actor that plays a young Daniel also has a theater background. So when they shot episode 5, they shot it like a play, which is like really cool to hear. Yeah, wouldn't yeah. Everybody knows Jillian. But I think it would also be a commitment for like many seasons coming forward. Yeah. That's what's so wild is that we've even though we know something's off with him, he still commands a stage. And which episode? So was this episode 7, and then I think it was what, episode 3 of this season, where we've seen Lestat in the past on a stage, and like, yeah, that's just like so important to the story and the setup of like season 3, which is wild. Is that we have to know that this is someone that could really like um engage a crowd, and then us as viewers watching it and we're like, dang, he really he just like commands the stage. Yeah. Yeah, I cannot think of I really do not have like I don't have that many names for, I guess, actresses that who they would hire. But I'm sure the casting has been incredible. So I don't know. Are there any other like fan theories before I close out? What do you think is gonna happen? Basically. It's really hot right now, and having this window open is feeling beautiful, even though there's a bunch of noise outside. Oh no, don't lose interest. If it takes 2 years. I hope not. Yeah, fan theory, whatever you want. Like, how do you think this episode 8 is gonna go? I definitely like, we could tell that it's gonna be Louis' revenge. I just don't know what's gonna happen in Dubai to wrap things up. Yeah. I think Dale's gonna get turned. I think maybe I don't know, I keep thinking Louis is gonna get set off again because Raglan James did warn Daniel Malloy that like you're you're concerned with Armand, but you should really be concerned with Louis, right? Do you think that's gonna happen in episode 8 though? I felt like that might happen like towards the end of season 3. I don't know. I definitely think so. There's also so many castings that they're gonna have to do because I saw like the what do you call it, the press release or whatnot, or an article about all the characters that are gonna be like onboarding. It's a lot. What did he possibly mean? He said the other one. He didn't say Louis specifically. I thought so too. So what do you think? Do you think he meant Lestat, or do you think that he meant what? Oh, is that what you're saying? That he was actually referring to Akasha? Hearing the groaning for the past 2 seasons. Louis gets his revenge, leaves Paris with Armand. I think so too. I just want to know how they got there to that point to get there. Lenora Wilson, Raglan is the worst. We are poor at keeping our assets alive. Yeah, I know. It's so wild. You think he meant Lestat? Oh my god. Okay. I just need a cliffhanger. All right, so in the movie version, Daniel leaves like that comes across Lestat, but also in the book, he also does try to look for Lestat. He just doesn't find Lestat, right? Something else happens. I'm wondering if I feel like I'm wrong. If in this one he's like, I'm gonna go I want to interview Lestat because after the ish I've been hearing for these past 2 seasons, this is not adding up. There were some people on another live saying Lestat was going to pop up out of those stones while he keeps putting his feet in. That would be wild. That would be so terrible if Lestat was just in there. Oh no. But then he wouldn't, not that I would know, but wouldn't Louis sense him if he was that close? Or or he's there but like below the building, like in a dungeon type thing with those who must not be kept, if they're being kept there, because I think they're being kept there too. I know. There's just so many possibilities. And my mind's just gonna keep on swirling until we watch it. It's a lot. It's such a good show. It's like, how do you possibly wrap up this? Yeah, Vera Moore says Brennan just threw Daniel under the bus. Here is all the information to read in front of the mind readers. Yeah, that's completely true. And then he does it. It's like, what is he getting at? I'm just gonna let them cook. Here's the other thing that I'm probably wrong about, and I know that Raglan James, he's made contact right with Daniel, but I keep wondering if that's also another way to introduce Lestat, that maybe he's already been in contact with Raglan James, and then also, although Raglan works for the Telemasca, that's actually part of the reason why he's getting in contact with Daniel, is that Lestat's just trying to find a way to get to Louis. But I don't know. I was some madcap theory idea, and I'm always wrong. Like I haven't been right about anything in the book. I'm so all the way wrong about so many things. So who knows? But yeah, with that said, it's past midnight. It's 12:13 my time. So at the beginning, I added the link, and I'm sure it's gonna show up on the replay. But there's like some unlisted trailer that popped up, or I think if you just go watch it, we see like a little bit of like Louis' revenge, a little bit. But yeah. But thank you everyone for staying up late with me because it is what now it's Friday and I cannot stop thinking about this show. And I'm just trying to look for any reason to have a discussion. So thank you all very much. Oh, let me read this last comment because I can't help myself. Vera Morris, Lestat and Danielle meeting is on my list. Lestat is going to charm Danielle. Yes. Daniel's going to remember things about himself. On that note, thank you very much. Morris, it made me laugh. Thank you all for having this discussion with me. My lives are going to happen Sunday at 6 p.m. P.S. T. Bye.